Hey, happy Friday, everybody. It is that time again for our live stream. And this time I'm coming to you from my house. So we had as everybody in the country had cold weather blow in today. Um, we also got some snow and things. So we're just, taking it easy, all working from home today. And, but we don't want to, stop what we've got going on. We've got a solid. Well, use the opposite of what the camera looks like. We've got a live stream today where we're going to be following up on mold severity index and then elaborating on where you're going to begin seeing this show up and how it's going to benefit your business short term through the long term. Okay. So let's start by talking about mold severity index. Last week we were talking about the difference between high content peroxides, the react extract system. We showed the efficiency of both and sometimes the lack thereof on the high peroxide side of things and contrasted that. But today, let's talk about mold severity index and recap what MSI 1 through 4 really is so that everyone's clear on that. Mold severity index is a trademark of EnviroGuard. So before we kind of jump into this, just know that all certified firms with EnviroGuard will receive a free license as part of the certification so that all of our intellectual property can be used on all of your marketing, your sales content, things of that nature. And we're going to talk about that again in a little bit. Okay, so let's jump into MSI 1 and just go through this and make sure everyone's crystal clear on how we're going about within the inspection, estimate, within marketing and sales, what MSI 1 through 4 is. Okay, so this is a good little picture of 4 MSI 1 surfaces, right? So mold severity index 1 is light but visible mold. And as you can see in this picture here, it's also what I would call sporadic, right? That visible mold is showing up sporadically on the surface. When I was doing a class just a week ago, maybe, one of the other things I said about is that if you if you were to lick your finger and swipe the surface, it would probably come off the surface. That is surface growth that we're seeing there, and so that represents an MSI 1. All right, MSI 2. Let's go to that. Now, with MSI 2, it's going to be visible growth with some embedded mold staining, but it's going to be spots that show up here and there, right? But you're going to see more consistent, visible, and embedded mold into the surface, and then you're going to see some mold spotting as well. And by the way, just kind of to stop right there and reflect, the reason that mold severity index is so important is that not only does it help you explain to your customer from an educational standpoint what the mold severity index is and what's going on in their space from an inspection standpoint, but it also is going to help set both protocol and estimating later on in the process. All right, so let's talk about MSI 3. So MSI 3 is when you have visible colony formation and consistent mold staining, as you can see in these pictures, right? Some of it is lighter staining, some of it is darker staining, but nevertheless, you've got consistent staining across that structural surface. And then finally, MSI 4 is visible colonies, consistent mold staining, and possible wood rot, okay? So those are the definitions of MSI 1 through 4. So let's talk about the inspection and how mold severity index applies to the inspection. Now, one thing that we're doing is we're taking our inspection graph here, and we will be updating this just to make sure that one of the checkoffs is mold severity index. And within the inspection graph, then, you'll be able to denote what areas of every single space are MSI 1 through 4, right? Because this inspection graph, along with pictures and everything that is visual and or that is represented by readings and things like that, moisture content, etc. All of that is used in the education process with the customer. So the graph becomes even more important now because now we can segment out different areas of a space that require remediation by MSI 1 through 4, so the customer understands what's going on and where, and then we can associate pictures of the surface with that. It just becomes a better, more transparent method of education. Okay. So that I kind of covered two things at once right there: inspection and customer education. They really go hand in hand, don't they? Right. One of them is where we're getting the information, and then we're using that information to transparently articulate that with the customer. Now, there's one more exciting thing to announce here. We are coming up with, we're putting together right now what you might be called, what we might call test kits. Okay, so that test kit is going to allow your, let's just call them inspector, right? I know it could be an estimator, it could be a salesperson, but whomever that is, they're going to be able to go in with our test kit and test all 4 of those surfaces as well. What that's going to do is it's going to build information for your technician team, and how they are going to go in and execute this. It's more like proof of concept, if you will, not proof of our concept, but rather proof that not only what we explained, what we saw was true, and what we explained to the customer was true, but what we tested on the surface was true as well. So now you'll know exactly how much chemical you have into a job, how much labor you're going to have into a job, time, etc. Right? It's all going to be buttoned up using the mold severity index system, and then you won't have to worry: are we or aren't we going to have clearance issues and things of that nature? Or it all become a part of the mold severity index system. So then that takes us just over to estimating, where the obvious benefit of this is being accurate, right? Being accurate with the estimate to the customer and being accurate in our own margins. And as we're working with customers around our area down in Greenville, South Carolina, and locally out of the Boone area, and down in Greensboro, and up in Cincinnati, and over in Nashville, and all of these different areas where we have customers who are working on just kind of perfecting all of this with us right now. All of that information is going to come to bear in when you decide to become an EnviroGuard certified firm. Okay, so all right, let's talk about how this makes its way into the big picture, and that is marketing. Okay, so obviously, anytime that you have something as valuable as mold severity index, that becomes highly marketable, which means it's a differentiator between you and your competitor. Anytime, what we have found, and you've probably found the same thing, anytime you can be a better educator of your customer, you have an advantage. But now we're going to add mold severity index to the marketing side of things, so that as you are marketing outbound to potential customers and things, everything that you will have at your disposal will speak to this as well. So Grace was kind enough to put up an image of a sales aid that we have. This is a bifold. Well, we're going back into all of these things right now and adding mold severity index to everything, to really enhance. And it doesn't matter if it is presentations, email marketing, web marketing, print, social media, etc. You'll begin to see everything that we do and provide over to the EnviroGuard certified firms will have this theme of mold severity index woven through it, and even video and things of that nature, which will be the videos for our certified firms to enhance their marketing effort. Right now, we're even doing things like writing television commercials and writing radio spots and things to bring this information to bear. So anyway, we're very excited about where mold severity index will take marketing as well. You will see this also show up on our new website. We've been talking about the new website for a while, and just as an update to that, we've decided to bring all of that in-house. We are actually very aggressively working on the new website, and it has so much better functionality than we ever thought we would get by having this completed for us outside our 4 walls here. So we're excited for probably a mid-January launch on the new website, but it'll be speaking to all of this, and it will allow everyone, or I shouldn't say everyone, everyone who is going to make a great a great partner to us, it'll allow you to register for the upcoming certification right through the website. So I also would like to talk about the perfect customer lifecycle. So just as the the mold severity index is holistic in terms of the marketing and sales process. If we step back from this a little bit further, we go, okay, what are the things that everyone, doesn't matter the company, everyone should be doing to make sure that they've got all of their process buttoned up with their customers, right? And there are really 8 steps in um, any process. I don't want to just call it a marketing plan because this is overall how you interact with a customer, right? There is the generation of interest. There's lead capture. There's educating and building trust with the customer. There's the conversion itself, which is when the sale happens. There's how the processing of the sale, fulfilling and wowing those customers, upselling customers, and then finally creating advocates for those customers to repeat the cycle, right? And so within the context of even our own certification, part of what's going to be woven through all 3 aspects of the market, day 1 marketing training, day 2 sales training, and day 3 service training is the perfect customer lifecycle because it's all connected, right? It's a very holistic approach to understanding how a business should function with its customers. So, again, if certification is going to be for you, these are some of the things that you will be learning as you work with us. And I guess that does take us to the idea of certification, right? Certified firms, of course, are going to be branding with us. They will be on our website. And if you saw the website right now, you would see the Find a Pro area. But if you want to learn more about certification and how it might apply to your business, you can feel free to email us at certification@enviroguarddirect.com. And then know that mid-June or mid-January, you can begin registering for that. We're only going to probably bring in 10 companies at a time for certification. And then as we gain interest and people start to register, we're going to determine how frequently we're going to run that class as well. Out of the first year, we're probably looking to bring on 30 to 40 certified firms. It's not going to be overwhelming the first years. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe at a maximum 50 certified firms. But I can tell you this: the first date for certification is going to be March 13th through the 15th. It's going to be right on the front side of Market Makers. Market Makers is March 16th and 17th. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that week of March, the 13th through 15th, will be our first certification class. Okay. Mold Severity Index is going to, we're anticipating really enhancing education, our own knowledge, production protocol, everything really is going to domino from Mold Severity Index. And by the way, we will begin using the Severity Index in other services as well. If you're familiar with React Extract, for example, not only can React Extract be used for mold, but it can also be used for fire damage, water damage, for trauma and crime scene cleanup. Let's call that biohazard. So we're going to keep going with this. And not only let me just continue that thought. Not only will React Extract be used in all those services, but as we bring on new services like our new roofing services, the roof restoration services and things like that, React Extract will be prominently featured in the surface preparation side of that. So if you get into this early right now and really adopt the Mold Severity Index, it's going to help you in just duplicating that across these other services as well, and will just create continuity in your message to customers. So feel free to email us now. We'll start, just talking with everybody individually about certification now. We're perfectly happy to do so and begin setting that up. And it's going to, somewhat be first come, first serve. I've already reached out to everyone on the Market Makers team, and we have at least I want to say 5 to 7 companies so far who have said yes, count us in for the March class. So we will, probably button that one up with about um, 10 customers. We will probably initially also do a March class and then an April class and maybe even a May as well, like 3 months back to back, just to kind of make sure that as we go into the busy season of mold and that sort of thing, that we've gotten as many companies who really want to enter into certification taken care of as possible, at least, as many as we can handle, right? We don't want to overdo it. We think that 10 companies with a minimum of 2 people per class, and that will be a minimum, right? You have to have somebody there from the marketing/sales side. You got to have somebody there operationally as well, because all of this works together between marketing, sales, and field/service. So you got to have 2 people who can come to that class. So with 20 people and minimum and 10 different groups here, that's how we're going to kick things off in March. So hopefully this has been more than a commercial about our certification. Hopefully Mold Severity Index and its extension is something that you can really begin to picture in helping all of these aspects of your business and in working with your customers and in marketing and differentiating your company from the competition in your region. And again, if you do have questions, if you want to kind of get a jump on things, email us at certification@enviroguarddirect.com, and we will start a one-on-one discussion with you about all of this. We'll probably even give you a peek into what the new website is looking like right now, so you can begin to kind of picture all the tools that you're going to have access to as we go. But just know that this is a true partnership. It's a long-term partnership that is not only going to include the certification itself, but continuing education credits from year to year. We've got everything lined out, and we know exactly how this is going to flow. And for those in the restoration remediation industry, all of our continuing education credits and training will be will have continuing education credit status with the IICRC as well. So you kind of get a double dip, if you will, there. So anyway, hope this has been helpful to you. I do want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. This is our last live stream of the year. Next week, we've got a reduced staff here in Banner Elk, North Carolina. We want people to have the opportunity to just enjoy some time off and decompress with their families and that sort of thing. And we'll be taking orders, right? We'll stay on top of everything and get stuff out next week. But we will have a reduced staff. So if you do have, questions about this, you'll probably be talking to me one-on-one next week. So in the meantime, have a wonderful Christmas and happy holidays with your family. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's warm and safe. And we will see you in the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.